Mr. Fuchs, it's important to remember that you're the one who is in control. What you see and feel here can be molded, shaped to your will.
What was that?
That, Mr. Fuchs, was the sound of fear.
What do I do?
You face your fears.
I don't know about this. Maybe we should just call it quits.
Fear does not suit you, Mr. Fuchs. You are a man of action. What do you do?
I act.
Now take that confidence and visualize it. Make it real. A man of action indeed. I think our session ends here today. Linus, I think we're done with our demonstration.
Well, that was certainly an experience.
Our system seems more real than real, doesn't it?
Is it the same for all your clients?
Oh, certainly not. We cater to each individual's needs. Their desires, fears, hopes, wishes take many forms.
Seems that a lot of personal data gets pushed through your system.
Mr. Fuchs, if you're at all worried about confidentiality...
We have complete confidence in your program. After seeing your demonstration, I think Madam Secretary will be in good hands.
Well, this is very good news. My associate and I were very intrigued when you first contacted us. I can speak for us both when I say that we are honored to provide services to a head of state.
And what a service you provide, Mr. Braxton. We'll forward over all the necessary records, payment in advance, as requested. I do have one request, though. More a request from the top brass.
I'm sure we can make accommodations.
Well, you've said that it's just you and your tech here. We need some sort of oversight in this situation. We have a very talented processor in our range.
Mr. Fuchs, you understand I do not allow outside individuals to act as a processor to my system.
Yes, you've certainly been adamant about that.
To be frank, Mr. Fuchs, there are no other processors who can run this system.
Look, I know all about Myles Braxton's billion-dollar brain, just like everyone else in the world. But you understand, there are others out there, just like you. You're not that unique. Now, my research suggests your system can handle 2 processors.
Research?
Is it true, Mr. Braxton, that your system can potentially have more than 1 processor running?
Theoretically, yes.
I think you'll find my agent more than capable.
And if I refuse services to my newest client?
I think the question is, do you have a choice? I'll send our agent in, have her introduce herself, give you a chance to show her around.
She's here now.
Just outside your office. We'll be in touch, Myles.
Hey, boss. Security is showing way more individuals than just Agent Fuchs are in the building.
I'm aware. We have a situation. We should go to the chamber to talk about this.
Good morning, gentlemen. I'm Ash, Mr. Fuchs' associate.
Myles Braxton.
Forgot how high I have this thing dialed. It's hard to feel out your office when it's so empty. I have to admit, it is a bit surreal meeting you in person, Mr. Braxton.
Please, Myles. And this is my associate, Linus.
Linus Aaron. I've read a lot about your theories on engram encoding.
And why would a government agent be reading about that?
Oh, because I'm a processor.
A processor? Look, I'm out of the loop here.
Miss Ash.
Ash. Just Ash.
Ash, I haven't briefed Linus on the situation. If you could just give us a moment.
Certainly.
In private.
Where would you like me to go?
Why the hell are we agreeing to this?
Because I think they know about our side business. And they didn't give us a choice.
It's the government. This is corporate espionage. And not even, it's just regular espionage. How can we get around this?
We just have to wait for an opportunity to present itself. We can't lose the system to them. Not to them.
If they know, then why send the Secretary of State to undergo a session?
To catch us in the act.
Well, yeah, but why send her? I mean, she's,
Blind? Something tells me that makes her even more superlative. Finding your way around the chamber.
That's an ominous name. Do you call your office the throne room?
You realize the danger of dual processors. Any of the simulations you've trained on don't hold a candle to my system.
I think you'll find him quite the quick learner. I can handle myself, Myles. Why don't I show you right now?
Very well. We'll need a splitter.
Everything's green on my end.
We're ready.
All right, hold on to your butts.
Welcome. You've set up a practice environment. You have experienced simulated sight before, correct?
Yes, just never this visceral.
Do you want to continue?
No question.
Improvisation is key. I would say things are limitless in here, but I can't speak for the system running dual processors. Linus, how are things looking?
Surprisingly cool, boss. We've got plenty of headroom.
How do you do that? Create life.
We don't. It's a simple shadow, an illusion. It's all an illusion, really, but one that the client must be convinced they control. Now, it's your turn. Rudimentary, but a good start. I think the next thing we should focus on
Boss, I don't know what these readings are, but they're freaking out the system.
Ash, you have to stop. You're overloading the system.
I don't know how to stop. It's beautiful.
Linus, pull the plug. A few more seconds, and we would have both been brain dead. Did you hear me?
I heard you. If you'll excuse me, I'd like to use the restroom.
Main office. Door on the right.
Registering properly. She wasn't off the charts. She broke them.
We'll have to tread carefully.
What's next?
What's next is that we get some rest. It's less than 72 hours until the Secretary of State arrives. You can use the client dormitory down the hall. And Ash, let's be more careful in the next session.
Linus,
Ash?
this is quite the server room. What did I count? At least 400 meters?
406, to be exact.
406. Impressive. I'm surprised how quiet it is.
It really is. Boring. Behind the scenes. It's mostly just looking at numbers, measuring things to make sure nothing overheats.
And what did the numbers tell you about me?
You got some pretty serious skills as a processor. That you did things that confused my boss and me. And the system.
I know what you're thinking. What experiment did the government do to make her like that? Not a thing.
Really?
I was the one that sought them out. I even had my port installed myself for homebrew kits.
You were using homebrew kits? I'm surprised you're standing upright. You didn't manage to fry your brains?
More like I fried the kits first.
What is your deal?
I'm different, Linus. I can feel it when I'm in your system.
How about you go in solo? Kind of stress test things before the client arrives?
I don't think Braxton would like that.
He doesn't need to know. I can rig an input directly into the server. As long as you don't mind sitting on the floor.
Great, it'll be just like my homebrew days.
There will be less of a buffer. More chance for experimentation.
Boss, Ash is in the system by herself.
But how did she manage to do that?
Let's just say I was looking for an opportunity. You want me to record?
Not yet. We need to be more careful about this. It's best if she's distracted. I'm going to the chamber.
Careful, boss. I'm getting some strange readings.
I see you're using your time here to the fullest.
It's much better being plugged directly into the system. It feels more real.
Is that how you got in here? Well then, why don't we run a benchmark of sorts? See if your abilities have progressed.
Oh, that kind of benchmark. Can anybody die in your system, Myles?
Not in the slightest.
But they could be distracted, saved from a process running in the background.
Someone might be incapacitated, though.
Boss, the system is having a hard time keeping up. You should get out of there.
What happened?
She managed to kick you out of the system somehow.
What's happening to her?
She's stuck in some sort of feedback loop. She's gonna crash the whole thing. I could pull the plug. Boss?
Get me back in there.
Boss!
Just do it, Linus! It's okay. Easy now.
Why did you save me?
Well, we're not murderers.
Just thieves.
How long have you known?
That you were recording your client's thoughts? Since one of your high bidders became our informant.
If you knew, Then why agree to a session with the Secretary of State?
We used someone important, but not too important to gather proof. We leak it. We seize your technology through legitimate means.
Legitimate? Do you know the resources it takes to run something like this? To provide?
What? A glorified counseling service? You know there's more potential here. Can you imagine what someone like me could do with it?
I don't need to. I see how dangerous you are.
I'll keep your secret.
What?
In exchange for access to your system. Anytime. Bring me on as an employee. You get to keep your little playground.
If I refuse?
You can't. You know they'll regulate it until it's nothing. We can't give up that unlimited power.
Fine. We'll play nice for Madam Secretary.
Myles Braxton.
I'm sorry, Ash, but I can't honor our agreement. You pose too much of a risk.
Risk? Miles, I followed the plan.
Yes, but how clear are your intentions? Linus, how are those recordings of Ash's coming along?
We've got the first few minutes, but the rest is going to take a couple more hours to render out.
Certainly, you have the Secretary of State's best interests in mind. No ulterior motives, no thoughts of abandoning your post. Ash, you had to have known what was going to happen. I'll never have two processors here.
I understand.
So if we have an understanding, I think it's best you see yourself out. Goodbye. Engage your security protocols. Make sure Ash gets out of the building safely. Let me know when the renders finish.
You got it, boss.
Linus, I can't seem to play back the recording. Linus!
He can't hear you, Miles.
Ash, what have you done with Linus?
I promise I haven't hurt him, just put him to sleep.
What do you want?
Everything.
And how am I supposed to give that to you?
Join me in the system.
What do you want from me? If it's the recordings, I can have those erased.
I don't care about your petty blackmail. What I want is beyond your business, beyond the world outside, beyond you. All I want is everything. I'm sorry, Myles. I'm sorry you got in my way. I can't let you take this away from me. I'm becoming more powerful, more aware. Your world isn't for me anymore. I'm leaving it behind. In here, I'm something more. I'm something new. I am what comes next.